So another episode of the B Team is in the books, number 7. And it was a weird episode in that episode 6 we had to cut off early. Two of the players had to go early, so and we were in the middle of combat. And I typically don't like ending a session in the middle of combat, but it was right before them focusing their attention on the boss monsters of the encounter. So it was actually a kind of a good place to stop. So we started session 7 with that final fight, and then after that, the party decided that the combat ended before they had killed all the wolves. Now the wolves were intelligent. They could communicate. They could talk. 2 of them had breath weapons. I mean, these were not normal wolves, right? Yeah. So they decided that they would negotiate with the remaining wolves and speak on behalf of the townsfolk and act as mediators between the wolves and the townsfolk to try to come up with some kind of agreement where everybody would be happy and the wolves would survive and the townsfolk would be left alone and blah, blah, blah. So that was a good chunk of the remainder of our playtime this past Sunday. So here's the beginning of their negotiations, which then pretty much carried on through the remainder of the episode, where they negotiated with the wolves, went back to the town, presented the wolves' offers to the townsfolk, and then went back to the wolves with some of the townsfolk from the council and discussed everything in person, and finally came up with a resolution that was satisfactory to everyone, but not everyone got what they wanted, which is typical for a negotiation. But here's just the beginning part. I'm not going to bore you with all the rest.
Are you willing to meet with the village themselves if we agreed on a neutral location where you know that you will be safe, they know that their sheep and people will be safe, prevent any future violence?
If the town agrees to what we want the forest and everything to the west. We will leave them and their sheep and other animals alone. If they can agree to that, we have a deal.
Does anybody have any paper?
No.
I mean, we'd have like paper in an event.
I've got alchemist
you guys
supplies.
spell
I'm
components.
presuming
Oh yeah,
there's
perfect.
something in there that I can write on.
Cool. I've got cartographer tools.
Okay.
So, what Finn is gonna do is write up a contract.
Okay.
No, this is 100%. This is Finn's wheelhouse. He is the business end of the farm. He does this for this is his job for the farm. He's the deal guy. He's the one that negotiates, gets the prices, sets all that stuff. So he's gonna make a contract that literally says and draws up the offer from the wolves of their territory. And so, based on kind of what we know, we've got a kind of layout of the map, right? So he'll draw up an area of that, write up the terms, and then once it's all written up, he'll actually present it over to what was the name of the lightning wolf? Bolt. And then he'll ask for Bolt's paw print on the bottom.
Okay.
I feel compelled to mention that a contract under duress is unenforceable, which Bolt certainly is, but he doesn't know that, maybe.
He's dictating the terms of this. He's saying he wants this area to protect his people.
I think we can come back to the contract.
No, I think this is a good idea.
This is their entry level offer. Then we're going to take it to the village. The village is going to put their offer, then we can counter and then go from there. It's a
I like
negotiation,
it. I think it's a good
right?
idea.
And then that way we have it in writing that also it establishes, and they can have their own kind of small village here that then can hopefully establish relationships with the other trade and all of that stuff. So this is the beginning of hopefully a trade deal and an establishment of their village, deed and title, all those kind of things.